ABA, analysis by assholes. Shit is true.
Gonna abuse it, huh?
Yo, this guy is crazy. Yo, new season. It's our third season already, and we only been in it for a year. Picking up, man, picking up. We getting old. But this is the NBA preview show. I got B here with me. Rob is on his way. He's en route. A special guest. Yo, Unnecessary Roughness NBA Season Awards preview. Season kicks off Tuesday. Got B's man, D Wade back in Cleveland.
Back.
Now I gotta get the Cleveland jersey.
No,
Eventually.
no. You're still getting the Bulls jersey. Find it. Find it. That bet was done a long time
I
ago.
like the Cleveland jersey better. Bulls jerseys suck.
Fuck your snake.
Let's get into a season preview. Mikhail had a lot of comments about James Harden last week, about saying he didn't believe he could lead a team. That's why they that's why they got Chris Paul. I don't know, like with Mikhail, I feel like I don't like when people attack players like that, especially if you talk about something like leadership. Like when you talk about somebody's leadership, that's kind of like attacking their character a little bit. So, what you think, B?
I feel like first of all, you came up in a different era. You looking for a certain type of leader. You looking for Chris Paul is a vintage type of leader. He's the type of leader. I'm gonna bark on you. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do everything that I feel like I need to do to get you to understand what you need to be doing. But there's other ways to lead. Don't get me wrong. LeBron James is also a vocal leader.
Yeah.
But there's other guys who lead by example, lead by this, lead by that, who don't get all up in your face, who's not barking. I don't think that means you're less of a leader
Like a Tim Duncan.
because what if that barking is coming from a guy who doesn't have anything to back it up? Like,
Right.
so in the same breath that it's different types of leadership. So I don't like the fact that he said he can't lead a team. He's obviously been leading a team since they've been making it to the Western Conference Finals in the second round.
Yeah, because I mean, if you think about it, before Harden even got there, what were the Rockets doing?
Nothing.
Nothing. Because like once they lost T-Mac, it was like
Throwback.
But that was before Harden got there. That was the last time they was really good. So I mean,
was it? Nah, they was okay when they in like the late 2000s when they battled Kobe. Bonzi Wells.
Oh
and
yeah,
Ron
yeah.
Artest,
When they had Scola, Ron Artest.
they was okay. They wasn't championship,
Yeah,
but
they was still like 7th seed, 8th seed back then.
Yeah,
But I
they
mean,
was
Harden
close.
took them. Harden took them
he took
to
them to heights.
eliteness. Yeah.
Second, third, and all that. Yeah, so I don't agree that he can't lead a team. I really don't. I just feel like these old school guys want this old school leadership. They want you to get up in your players' faces and this, that, and the fourth. I don't agree with that.
But Harden might not command that type of respect from people. Let me not say command that type of respect, but it's like
It's
that's
just-
just not his persona.
Yeah, it's just not his nature. If it's not my nature to scream at you, I'm not saying it because some old time player said I need to. Like,
Right, because then that can mess up the chemistry even further.
exactly. Now after 5 years of not doing something, now I'm just gonna walk into practice one day and yell in your face. I wish James Harden would. I don't care how many points a game you score. If you don't do that, don't do it. Let somebody else do it. Chris Paul has this persona. You only need that type of leadership if you're playing with a bunch of guys who don't listen.
Yeah.
Like if I'm hard headed and I don't listen to what's drawn up, and I need somebody to yell in my face and tell me where I'm supposed to be. If you have disciplined players, you don't need a guy who's gonna yell. So it's like leadership is leadership. It's all about who you look at as a leader. It's about the respect factor that the other players on the team give. I feel like these players respect James Harden. And I feel like that's part of the reason they got rid of Dwight. Because, well, I don't know. I don't know if you could call him like somebody who will split a locker room at this point. Because it's not like he's superstar Dwight versus superstar
Right.
Harden. It's just.
At this point,
But
Not
But he's
really.
an ego that was
Right.
kind of against James Harden at a point. Like,
Cancerous
yeah,
a
he
little
wanted
bit.
the ball. He wanted this. He didn't want to play within the offense that is James Harden.
I think Mikhail was the worst person to say this though, because it's like they went from being the eighth seed with Mikhail to being the third seed in the league overall with D'Antoni. So it looks bad because it's like, well, your leadership didn't look that great either, buddy. Like if you if you want to be technical about it, like how what about your leadership?
Yeah.
So if they went from being a last place team in the West to being the third best team overall, like they had a better record than the defending champs the next year. What does it say about your leadership? Like, don't you can't point fingers when you're not right in your own leadership personality. So,
Yeah.
not like you said, I feel like there's just certain guys have that type of leadership persona. Like, there's quiet leaders like somebody like Kawhi or Tim Duncan, like guys that can lead quietly. And then there's vocal leaders like a Kevin Garnett or Kobe Bryant or sometimes LeBron James. It's like not people don't necessarily respond the same way to everybody. So, I mean, I really don't agree with it.
Yeah, and like you said, that was a good point. Tim Duncan is one of them guys who, if he got emotional in a game, it was you had to be doing the worst type of thing in the world. Like Tim Duncan he's gonna talk to you or he's gonna not talk to you, and it's just you understood what you did right or wrong or what you were supposed to be doing or where you messed up at strictly by the look. Like he had that parent type of discipline. Like
Yeah.
you know, how you in the store, you doing something you ain't supposed
And
to.
they
Your
just
mother
look
hit
at
you with
you.
the,
Just cut her eyes at you like,
and you
put
know
it back.
she ain't gotta say nothing. She done said enough with that look.
Right.
So, it's like it's different types of leadership, and I don't agree that James Harden doesn't have one. I feel like people see him going through the game, and it's like maybe he's not stern on players or this, that, and the fourth. Like you don't see him clapping his hands and pointing that part to the
Right.
floor like you see a LeBron doing. You don't see him pulling guys in, pointing. Like you just don't see him doing that. But that don't mean he's not leading. Like I don't.
Right, and it's like you said with LeBron, that leadership might not even be effective because you see, Kyrie got up out of this. So.
Yeah, like everybody can't take it. Look at
Everybody-
how Dwight reacted to Kobe's leadership.
Yeah, exactly.
He
Great
shrunk,
example.
he shrunk. Like I don't like to use that word when it comes to that.
Right.
But for lack of a better term, he shrunk, and he had the injury, but he shrunk. Everybody can't deal with that pressure from everybody like that.
Right.
Like
I just don't agree. Like, there's no need for you to say that, especially knowing that you his former coach.
man, it always,
It looks
and
worse.
that's my thing when it comes to that. I realize these people don't understand that. Soon as you talk about somebody that you used to work with, I don't care what you say. I don't care how much truth it is to it. You always gonna look like a hater.
Yeah.
You look like a hater, just like these old time players. Every time one of them say something about Durant or whoever, these guys teaming up, you look like a hater. You mad because you didn't bring yourself to team up against this Jordan dream team that was put together on the Bulls, and you didn't do it, and you regret it because you lost. You lost a lot. You scored a lot of points, but when it comes to best ever, you will never be in a conversation because Michael Jordan did it better.
Right.
And that's why I think this whole thing against, like, it's just a lot of people. It seems like hate.
Yeah. It does.
Like it's nothing good to it. Like about what you're saying. Like James Harden not later. What does that achieve? Like they needed to get Chris Paul. No, they needed to get Chris Paul so that James Harden didn't have to dribble, shoot, and do everything else on his own.
Usage rate was probably
Ridiculous.
in like the 90s. I wouldn't be surprised.
Plus, now when James Harden decides to get a rest, you got a guy who can run a real system and get guys who maybe who don't normally score without a Chris Paul giving them the ball.
Yeah.
Come on, like, of course James Harden's assist gonna go down and this, that, and the fourth, but I think the team will be better. The team won't relinquish leads when he goes to the bench because you have a quality point guard running whatever you need him to run.
So
As long as you can shoot threes, Chris Paul can play on the floor with you. As long as you can get rebounds, Chris Paul. As long as you can dunk, Chris Paul can. Chris Paul turned DeAndre Jordan into a superstar. He turned Tyson Chandler into a $60 million man.
Yo,
Come on.
come on. Yeah, that's an unfair
Gennaro
comparison.
Pargo looked like
I know
he
more
was a
about.
borderline superstar playing with Chris Paul.
I know more about Gennaro Pargo's wife than I know about Gennaro Pargo.
Come on, man.
I know he's the husband of kind of like Candace Parker and Sheldon Williams.
No, I don't know. I don't know who Sheldon Williams is. I don't know who that
The
is.
ex-Celtic.
I know. I don't know who it is.
Sponsorships on jerseys this year, man.
If they keep it to one, I just don't want it to be overly decorated. Like what they have now. Like I like the one the Warriors have. I like the
Yeah.
one the Timberwolves have one, right?
Yeah, they had the Fitbit one.
Yeah, like I like how it's there, but it's not.
They don't look like the
overpower,
WNBA
like,
jerseys.
I don't want it to overpower the name on the front and the
Right.
back of the jersey. I don't want it to be like, oh, let's decorate this like
Where
NASCAR.
it looks like the name of the team is Mayo Clinic or something like
yeah,
that.
like no. I don't like that. I don't like that idea. But what's going on right now? It's cool if you have one, maybe even two. But I feel like you should stick to one because once it's two, then it's three, then it's four. Stick to one. They already demanding these crazy amounts of money for these things anyway. So stick to one, and I'm not mad at it right now. You know, like it's not like if they zoom in on it, you'll see it. If
Yeah,
you
you can't really
understand,
tell.
yeah, it's not like it's just clouding your vision. So I'm not mad at it.
Jordan finessed the whole system. He put the Jordan symbol with a Nike symbol supposed to be just kill two birds with one stone. That's how you. That's
And
how
he
you
don't gotta
finesse.
pay for it. He ain't paying for no spot on that jersey.
He's just keeping his money. Oh God, smart. I don't know. As like you said, as long as it don't start looking like WNBA jerseys where it's like 16 sponsors on the shirt and shorts, and then you don't even know what the name of the team is. Like, yo, what team you play for? Purina Pet Child. Team you play for? Mayo Clinic. The Mayo Clinic won the 2017 WNBA championship.
What team you play for? Miracle Whip.
Yo, just pay for mad foods.
I'm a McDonald's All-American all over again.
Yo, look, it's crazy. So that means you're not gonna pick Harden first in fantasy for the draft on Monday. If you get first overall.
If I get first overall, I mean he's the clear-cut scoring champion this year to me. I don't
Yeah, I
think
think
none
so
of the
too.
other scoring champion candidates.
Oh,
is gonna- What? No.
Lakers
Nah.
winning the championship.
This year?
Mm-hmm.
You want to bet another jersey way on that? But I think
on this preview show.
I think the score. I think between him and Kawhi Leonard need to be number one because the only reason, and people will look at the stats and say no, but Kawhi Leonard's defensive stats, like when it comes to fantasy,
Yeah.
they're heavier weighted than the offensive stats. So for every assist he doesn't have, the steals are, it kind of evens out. But then I think Anthony Davis is a look.
Yeah, he's always a look. Remember when you had him last year?
Giannis.
And he had 80.
He started out the season looking crazy. Then you got.
I think I would look at Giannis number one too though.
Giannis,
'Cause
he gonna be a beast.
Because I feel like when you look at like fantasy players, it's like you gotta look at not necessarily who's gonna be the best player. Because like if that was the case, everybody would pick LeBron first overall. But you kind of gotta look at like what are they gonna be able to do every night? It's like Giannis is somebody that's like he probably gonna have at least one of every stat every night. Like he's definitely gonna have like a block, a steal. every
He's
night.
a stat stuffer.
Stat sheet stuffer supreme, as my man Claude Kellogg on NBA 2K would say.
I'm trying to think who else is like that type of player where I think they could be number one.
I would say if I top 5, I still would put Russell Westbrook up there in top 5. You know, he's not the clear cut #1 fantasy pick that like he was last year.
Yeah.
I would say I think Paul George would be up there too.
Top 5? I don't know.
Top 5? Nah, probably like top 7. But I think he's gonna thrive in that offense. I think.
Nah.
Cause first of all the attention is not gonna be drawn on him. So it's like he's gonna be able to get looks.
Yeah.
So I think he's gonna be able to dominate. Whiteside is up there for me.
MVP. Oh, you said not MVP.
I'm saying in terms of who I would pick first overall for fantasy, I think Whiteside would be up
Oh
there.
yeah. Because it's just he needs to pack a little bit more scoring power. Like,
Yeah.
He don't demand the ball. Maybe that's from playing with guys like Wade and Dragic, but
Right.
he needs to demand the ball now. He's like really the focal point of the team, and they need to give him the ball. But you only
See how that goes.
Exactly. Speaking of that, which offseason move you think is gonna have the biggest impact on the respective team this season?
I mean, there's no move bigger than the Isaiah Thomas, I think, move. But I think the team that's going to have the biggest difference in season is going to be the Thunder. I think that's clear. Like, because I still think the Rockets are going to be second best, or maybe. Like, that's the only team that I think can move them. I'm what, a little bit less than that. I like the Wolves picks.
I do too.
Because I think the Wolves are going to be in the playoffs, top 6 at least.
I think they'll be higher than that.
I think so too, but that's
like a safety room for error.
But I like the Thunder picks because these are all 3 guys who used to be in the league out on their team.
Yeah.
So it's nothing to stop these guys when they get these one-on-one matchups. Like, I just want to see this. I want to see how that affects. Like, how do the rest of the league try to guard that? Like, because these are not like 3 guys who are just superstars at their own aspect of the game. Melo was a scorer. Melo is a scorer.
Yeah.
Paul George is a top-tier scorer. Russell Westbrook, scoring champion from last year, plus assist man, average a triple-double. So it's like,
10, and 10.
It's like it would never surprise me to see these 3 guys combine for 80-plus points in a game.
Yeah, no, for sure.
So it's like,
because they all have those abilities.
and I think this is the best team. This suit team, maybe besides Cleveland, is the best team suited to try to like go at the Warriors. I don't know if they have enough besides these 3.
That's the thing. But they
And
got
that's
Patrick Patterson too,
that's what we got to see. Is like, how does their pieces pan out? But I don't know if they have it. But because Cleveland, you obviously have defensive minded. Like, you got LeBron now, you got Wade, you got Isaiah Thomas, you got Jay Crowder, you got J.R. Smith, Shumpert. You got all these guys. Tristan Thompson come off the bench now. Kevin Love is a starting 5. That means the floor pretty much stretch for Wade and LeBron and Isaiah Thomas, who's a quality 3-point shooter himself, to pretty much do their thing. So it's like the dynamic of Cleveland, I think, makes them great. But the biggest move to me was and it wasn't even necessarily the Paul George move. Don't get me wrong, I don't want to downplay Paul George. It's just, I think the Paul George move was validated pretty much by the Carmelo move. You built a big 3. It looked pretty random when Paul George just went to when that trade happened. Like, it looked really random.
Yeah,
and
no
then,
one really talking about it.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden,
like,
boom! Now you just
now
big
we got
3.
something to talk about.
Big 3 real fast, and now it's like, it's kind of like you grown up, you ready to compete now. Now
D Wade's a legend. This guy needs to shut
I
up.
just think, like, if you, I get why he thought D Wade would be starting, because like D Wade is older.
better.
like he's older, so he can't really like run with the Cavs.
He's still better than J.R. Smith.
But no, I'm saying like his numbers are still better. Like D-Wade still averaged 18 and 6 last year on a horrible team.
Can I ask y'all a question? How
My-
many times has D Wade won Sixth Man of the Year?
Never.
Know your place, J.R.
And my thing is, you
I'll
know,
have a championship. D Wade got 3.
you seen these guys when they was on Miami. They was all happy.
Oh,
free
you
flowing,
would've never
going, throwing
thought-
alley oops.
Like what would even
Well-
make you think he wasn't gonna start at shooting guard?
My thing is, even if JR started, it would be for like 4 minutes.
Yeah, it'd be like a
And
Ginobili
then-
situation.
2 minutes.
It'd be like a
and then
Ginobili
Wade would
situation.
come in and run
Ginobili's
with.
technically the 6th man.
Mm,
He's
right.
always playing.
Yeah, like it wouldn't be what you think it is. You would start and then, boom, before you could get a rhythm, Wade would be in.
But let me ask y'all.
Running with the starters.
Since D Wade is slow or older or whatever, wouldn't it make more sense to have him with the starting group?
Right.
And then J.R. Smith, since you're younger and faster, I mean, I shouldn't do that because you probably are. But wouldn't you want to lead the second
You
unit
know what
or
they
something
second
like
unit gonna look like when
Starting
everybody
five.
gets back?
Starting five.
that? Well,
Most improved player.
it might depend based off what he does with the Thunder, but I think given it, I think if Carmelo Anthony can, even in those two,
Yeah, I'm listening.
even if he can still average about 23 points, 24 points with two guys that are ball dominant,
Right.
then yeah, I would give it to him over us. So I'll go with Carmelo, especially because I think the Thunder are gonna be good.
Yeah.
That
know.
could be my
I
guy.
don't know, man.
It's just it's always somebody that's just
I'm going to
you
take.
don't think about.
Has the opportunity to be the wrongest pick ever,
Yeah.
but that's just what I see with my eyes.
People are putting. They're being really hard on Brandon Ingram though.
Yeah.
And it's like people say he's a bust already. I don't feel like you can label somebody a bust after 1 year, especially because he's only 20 years old.
I feel like he
Melvin
has.
Gordon in football, remember? He
Yeah.
was horrible his rookie year. Popped.
I feel like he has a point guard who as long as he can show quality, I think Brandon Ingram will be the recipient of a lot of that
Yeah.
because we know his skill set from college was scoring the ball. So I believe them two teamed up together look good. Randall and Kuzma, they play roles as well as do other things. So I think this team can sneak up Brook Lopez.
Yeah.
He's a proven scorer. So you have all of the chips there to create something. I'm not saying you're gonna walk in the Oracle and smack the Warriors by 60 twice. No.
It wouldn't surprise me.
He beat the Warriors last year.
They smacked them by 60.
Come
Nah,
on.
I beat him by
Twice.
like 20.
When they
It's
were
a
trying?
fluke. It was a
When
fluke.
they were trying?
Yeah, it was the sixth game of the year. Because I remember everybody's going crazy like, oh, the Warriors got smacked by Spurs by 30, and now they 4-2. They're a bust. Now look.
Great-
switching the
great way to pick 'em.
I'll hold it. I'll hold
Oh,
it
wait,
for
you're
one.
here.
I'll hold it for 1 year. You hold it for one. I'm gonna go with Draymond Green. I think
Back to back.
yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if Kawhi won one, but I feel
It's
like
one of them.
it's always a neck and neck race between the two of them. Like even the years that Draymond Green quote unquote was supposed to win, and Kawhi did, it was like a neck and neck race. So I
It's
think
like last year when Kawhi was supposed to win.
I don't feel like Kawhi was supposed to win last year though. I feel like Draymond Green was a more consistent defender, and Kawhi was hurt a lot last year. Like Kawhi's not even gonna be there for the season opener this year.
You're right. But I feel like he'll make enough.
I agree with Fred. I was trying to think of a third, but I really don't see nobody dethroning these two guys going back and forth for it. I mean, maybe
You could
maybe Anthony Davis
Yeah.
will get some consideration. Maybe not. But I think it's a safe bet. It's going to be one of these two guys. So I don't think neither one of you can be being wrong right now.
Markelle Fultz looks real good, but I don't like the Sixers. Like, not as a team, you guys. I'm trying to trust the process, but
I'm losing my
I'm
trust.
losing my trust in the process.
End of the year.
Is Carmelo coming off the bench? Who be?
I don't know. No, I I don't know no former MVP that come off the bench. I don't know no first team All NBA player that come off the bench. My Allen Iverson. 6 man.
This is a tough one. It's always tough.
I think I'm gonna go with the safe pick, Jamal Crawford.
Crawdad.
Yeah,
Where he at?
Timberwolves.
Ooh. That's a good.
Safe pick,
That's
Jamal
gonna be my
Crawford.
2K team, so I can destroy them. Y'all know whenever I have Crawdad in it,
Crawdad.
It's gonna be Steph Curry.
Seth?
Who?
It's gonna be.
Is Nerlens Noel coming off the bench?
I don't know.
No, I think. Is he still? Oh yeah, he is still
He's
in
still
Dallas.
in Mavs. You know he's gonna be the heir apparent.
I mean, Nick Young on the Warriors might be a good candidate too. Even though they said Cassis be starting to take his minutes in
My God.
practice.
It's tough. I don't know.
It's like
That's
safe,
what I don't-
safe pick is. I mean, you could say Eric Gordon.
He could. He won it last year, right?
Yeah, but I mean, I just feel like Jamal Crawford is going to thrive in Minnesota.
I think so too.
like Gordon would be a good pick. I also wouldn't be mad at Lou Williams in L.A. back in L.A.
Yeah.
When the Clippers.
I'm gonna go with Jamal Crawford with you too.
Yeah,
Safest bet right now.
unanimous.
Unanimous.
MVP.
Unanimous.
Unanimous. MVP.
6 man of the year.
Who's the MVP?
All right, so we don't care about record anymore. Obviously, we don't care about record anymore. But Russell Westbrook, to his credit, did do something historic. So I have to think about this. I want to say Karl Anthony Towns, just because he's my pick. But if we look at the past MVPs, how many of them have not been in that upper echelon of stars that we see every single day? It hasn't. I can't even think of.
I don't, but the Timberwolves aren't going to really be a league pass team this year.
What do you mean?
Like,
I think they are. League pass team meaning
like you don't see them on national television. Like
Timberwolves are gonna be fun
Oh,
to watch.
so you think they are gonna be on national?
Yeah, I think they're going to be on national.
The
Timberwolves are
schedule
gonna be-
came out. I haven't seen it.
But I mean, they could change it as
First of all,
according to
whoever
this.
gets league pass, yeah. No, let me stop. They might be a league pass team.
Timberwolves are gonna be fun to watch.
Yeah, that's why I think there will be a league pass team. Like you order league pass just to watch it.
I would never order league pass to watch one team when I
I
can
wouldn't
stream
order
only, only,
Stop,
only,
Byron. Arr.
only Pistons fans got
Hey,
league
hey,
pass.
it. Unnecessary roughness.
Oh,
there he
you
goes. He said it.
He said it. He said it.
Cut that shit out.
This is tough for me.
Oh, I didn't inform him of the rules.
This is tough for me. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with Harden
About 6'9".
again because
220.
I'm trying to see. Maybe it could be KD. Matter of fact, I'm switching it to KD because I feel like the Warriors are gonna be that good, and he's gonna be the reason why they're that good. It's either gonna be him or Steph, whoever is the best on the Warriors. So I'll lean towards KD. I think Chris Paul's gonna go eat into Harden's stats. Paul George and Carmelo are definitely gonna eat into Westbrook's stats. And a star has to be MVP apparently. You can't give MVP to anybody that's not in that upper echelon. So while I want to put Karl Anthony Towns, I can't. So I'm gonna put in Kevin
D'Angelo
Durant.
Russell's gonna be MVP.
Lonzo Ball's gonna be MVP. Undefeated, never lost.
Undefeated, never lost.
MVP. I really do like Kawhi Leonard. I like Kawhi Leonard as MVP. No, I like him for MVP.
Sorry.
Your pick was Karl Anthony Towns.
No, my pick was KD.
No, you originally said Karl Anthony Towns.
I wanted.
I'm a,
Moose. Go ahead, Moose.
how you say moose?
I heard him say it in sports shows.
Moose. Jaws. Goose. I'm gonna pick Steph Curry.
I like it. I like it a lot. He's the best player on the
Damian
Warriors.
Lillard.
I think Steph. He's really good in the regular season. So I
He's really
think
good at the playoffs.
he's really good in the playoffs, but he's better in the regular season.
True.
So I think if his averages don't seem to like really waver, even like with KD. So I think if he can, the Warriors have the best record, and like he has a crazy season, like 25, 8-8. I think you got no choice but to give it to Steph Curry.
Unanimous again.
Unanimous.
It's not gonna be unanimous.
It's not gonna be unanimous, no, but he does have that under his pedigree. That's amazing.
All right, this next question is gonna take about 2 seconds. Well, the next two
Warriors.
questions. All right. Let me do it
Can
like
we do
this.
the matchup first?
Cleveland Warriors.
Eastern Conference Finals matchup.
Okay. All right. No, Cavs Celtics.
Splitting hairs. Cavs and another team. Cavs
Who you got?
Celtics.
Cavs Celtics.
Cavs Celtics. Western Conference Finals.
Wait. No, I'm lying.
Cavs Wizards.
Yeah, no,
Cavs
Cavs Wizards. Yeah.
I like that one. Different. What you got, Fred?
I got Cavs Knicks. No, I got Cavs Celtics too.
Who we sucking for? Who the Knicks sucking for? Who's the number one?
Michael Porter
You
Jr.
said you got Cavs who?
I got Cavs Celtics.
Cavs Celtics.
So what's we doing? Western Conference now?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh.
Lakers. I got not Cavaliers. I got Warriors and the Thunder. I think that would be a great playoff series.
Who you got, B?
Warriors, Spurs.
Oh,
Ooh.
my man. I got the Warriors and the Spurs too. It's like the Rockets and the Thunder are getting all this hype, and we're forgetting about the Spurs.
No,
Spurs are still good.
Spurs are still gonna be great.
Remember they shut down the Rockets last year.
They almost beat the Warriors.
Yeah,
Except if it wasn't for Zaza and his foot slippage.
He's smart.
Zaza should have been MVP of the finals.
We do
Let
not
it go.
condone injuries.
Let it go.
Finals, obviously, Cavs wore the quadrilogy. Cavs and Warriors.
I want to be wrong.
How many games do you pick the Warriors to win in this year?
I want to be wrong so bad.
Wizards in 6.
Yeah, I want to be wrong so bad. I think the Cavs do make it back to the NBA Finals, but I want to be wrong so bad. Because the Warriors are making it 100%. But I'm tired of these two-suit. Jordan said it best. Two-suit means 28 crappy teams. And he's right.
And dissed his own team.
Is he wrong? You want him to tell the truth?
Nah, he's
You
You
got
want him
Dwight.
to lie?
You got Dwight.
That's
Making
true.
it.
He
They
does.
making the championship.
They making the playoffs.
Dwight, Kemba, Malik.
Playoffs? Yeah, so.
Warriors in 4, man.
Monk. Sweet.
Yeah, I got that too. Warriors beating the Cavs in 4.
I got-
LeBron gets run out of
I
Cleveland.
got Warriors in 7. I think it goes 7 games.
Ooh! Here's some David Stern magic.
No, I think they have a better team this year. That's why I think. The last year they just didn't. They couldn't compete with them. I think now you add D Wade and Crowder and all those guys, they can at least compete. They won't be. They won't win.
I don't
Obviously.
think they can compete. I think they are better than last year, but I don't think so. I think other teams got better too.
I just want to see it. I hope it goes to 7 more. It's more of a
Think
wish.
about it. Think of all the matchups in that, though.
Yeah.
Thomas versus Curry. Wade, Clay, LeBron, Durant.
Durant.
Crowder,
Crowder and whoever. Crowder and Draymond.
Crowder, and Draymond.
Rule.
You don't
Rule.
think-
Zaza and Kevin Love.
Oh,
My man representing the
y'all
Republic
don't
of
think
Georgia.
Clay Thompson
Rob is back, so the picks column is back.
eventually suck for Saquon Giants? Do you think Saquon Barkley?
Suck for Saquon.
It's crazy, Fred, because your Jets are looking for a franchise quarterback, right?
We are playing for the division lead tomorrow.
Yeah, when y'all lose rounds. Well, are y'all forgetting about Buffalo? Buffalo's
Technically, they will be first because Buffalo has a bye tomorrow.
They do?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's good.
It's not good.
Well, it's not because y'all never gonna get a franchise quarterback, and now the Giants might pull a Peyton on Eli.
We just have to
I hope not.
We just have to be.
It was all fine and gravy when Jim Irsay did it. Gino. You a future Geno lover.
Gino, first of all, Gino not gonna be the starter if we draft Rosen or Darnold.
Nah, they gonna sit Eli for the rest of the
That's
season.
probably what
They
Trubisky
better
said too.
You gonna watch Geno Smith.
I'd stop being a Giants fan if they did that. Keep his start record streak intact.
Screw that. Sit him. Trade him. Healthy.
Well, you could trade him to the Jaguars for some multiple picks.
Trade him to the Broncos.
For multiple picks. For what?
Trevor Simeon.
Stop it.
Trevor Simeon is the newest
Stop
New
it.
York Giant.
Saquon Barkley, rooting for you. Penn State.
I don't
all
even
day.
know who you
Go
are.
Yankees. Go Yankees. I don't know who I am. Go Yankees. We win it today. Game 2. We'll probably go 2-1 when we're at Yankee Stadium, and then win a couple more in Houston.
Hope you're right.
Yep.
I've been staring at you. I'm great.
I'm great.
Go Yankees.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Yankees, do your thing. Cause if y'all not great, then you can't be a part of the show no more.
The season's a success regardless of what happens.
Yeah.
No.
We were supposed to be competing in 2019. We're in the ALCS in 2017.
Once you get there, you might as well win it.
Oh,
What's the point?
yeah,
What's the point of going to the store if you ain't gonna buy the shirt? You feel me?
What's the point of putting lettuce on the burger? I had nothing to do with nothing. I just wanted to say that.
Big man.
Putting all them greens on my food.
Put
Trying to
grass
make-
on my burger.
Trying to make my purposely unhealthy meal healthy.
Terrible.
All right.
I said trace out